Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install and use Electra AI in Microsoft Windows. So I've done a fresh install of Windows 11. As you can see, there's nothing on this PC, just a new fresh install. And I've got the Electra AI installer here. Right, so if you double click the Electra AI installer that you downloaded, it will pop up. Now, if you have Python previously installed, it will just skip the prerequisites setup wizard. But if you don't have Python, this is the screen you're going to get. It's going to say there are some components missing, and that is obviously Python. It will install Python for you. So all you do is you click Next, and it will tell you there, select the items to be installed, and it's Python 3.10.7, and you click Next. And this will start the Python installer. Now, there's one thing you must absolutely do on this installer, or else the AI will not work. And that is to tick this box here. Add Python 3.10 to path. You need to tick this box. I don't know why they don't have it ticked by default. If it's unticked and you go install now, it's going to mess everything up. So tick it. Make sure you tick it. This is an absolute must. Okay, so you tick the add Python 3.10 to path. Click install now. Yes, Python will install. This will take like a few seconds, maybe 30 or 40 seconds. And then once it's installed, you click the box to remove the limiter. And that's it. That's done. Python is set up. It's very easy to do. Very, very, very simple. Okay, so here we come. Give it a few more seconds. Okay, there we go. Whew, come on, this is installing pip. Okay, now it says setup was successful. Now it gives you the option to disable path length limit. Okay, click it. There we go. Click it and choose yes. Done. Okay, so that wasn't extremely important, but it is kind of. That first one, add Python 3.10 to path. That was the big one. You need to tick that box. Okay, you just click closed, and now Electra will actually, the installer will actually start. So we just choose I agree. Next. Here you input your code, the code that was assigned to you. So let me put in my code. And then I click install. And then I click yes. And that's it. The installer is installing. Done. Successful. Finished. Now, the first time you boot up Electra, it puts an icon on the desktop, by the way, and it also puts an icon in the menu. You can search it here, Electra. There it is. You can pin it if you want. You can pin it. So there it is in the main menu, but it's also on the desktop. So the first time you open up Electra, right, if you double click it, it will actually install some libraries and required files. Just let it run. It doesn't take very long. Look at that. It's actually fairly quickly. If you have slow internet, it might take a minute or two, but it actually goes pretty quick. So to just install some Python additional packages that are needed. And it only does this once. This is on first startup. And then once it's done, you should see that. When you see that green line to use voice, blah, 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 then you know it's done. So now you can start. However, I usually like to close it and then reopen it again after installing those extra files. And now we can actually use it. So I'm inside a virtual machine. I feel more comfortable using it on my own PC. So I'm going to blur the video now and then come back when I've opened it on my own PC. But you've seen the installer, how quick and easy it is to install. Now I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay, so I've opened it up and now I'm on my screen. This is my terminal. In Windows, I booted it up. And you'll see here on top it says type CLS to clear the screen. The AI will still remember the conversation history. Okay, so your conversation history is being tracked. No matter what you say to the AI, it will remember the previous conversation, right? And clearing the screen will not wipe the history. It will still remember the history, okay? The second one says type multi-line to open a text box where you can paste multiple lines of text and code. That is very handy because in a terminal, you can only type one line at a time. And then the third line says to use voice, say Electra and your question, or simply type your request. Okay, so you could say, for example, Electra, why is the sky blue? You can use voice for that, and it will reply back in voice, or you can simply just type in text. You might be in a busy area, you might not like the voice, it might not, it might not recognize your accent or whatever the case might be, so you can type. So we can say here, for example, let's see, we say, tell me about Batman. And I hit enter. Now it says searching, tell me about Batman. And you can see there it says thinking. Usually it takes about 6 to 10 seconds. This time of the night, the internet's slow, so it might be 10 seconds or so. There we go. During the day, it's usually 7 seconds. And now it will give you a sort of a rundown about Batman, right? And it gives a very detailed explanation. It's a very good AI. It's like top notch. So you can expect some really, really detailed replies to your questions or whatever. Okay, wow, look at that. It's giving like a real nice breakdown of who Batman is and the villains that he obviously fights. Oh, and it tells you who played Batman. Wow. Jeez, look at that. Look at that response. Wow. Wow. Okay, so I go CLS. I want to get back there. So I say, now tell me about Superman. And I hit enter. Now let's see what it says if I say, now tell me about Superman. So we had the Batman breakdown. Let's see what it says about Superman. Sure, Superman is a fictional. Okay. So now it's going to give us a breakdown of Superman. And then I'm going to change the conversation and make it a little bit more interesting, right? So you can see the AI is really going all out here. Wow, this is an amazing AI. Gotta tell you, this is amazing. Look at that. Just look at that. I don't even think ChatGPT gives such details. Wow. Just look at that. Wow. Okay. This is flippin' amazing. Just look at that. Oh my God. Okay. Right. It's still going on. Wow. Okay, let's go CLS again. Now remember, we cleared the screen twice. We asked about Superman, Batman, then we asked about Superman. Now let's say, who would win if these two fought each other? Now, I'm not specifying who is fighting. I'm not saying Superman or Batman or anything. Just who would win if these two fought each other, right? And let's see if it remembers the history. First I asked about Batman, then Superman. Let's see if it actually remembers that and catches on. So here we go. If Batman and Superman were to fight, it is likely that Superman would win. Superman, blah, 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 blah. However, Batman is a very resourceful and intelligent individual. He would likely come up with a plan to defeat Superman, even if it meant using kryptonite. Superman's one weakness. In the end, it is possible for Batman could defeat it, but it would have to be it would be a very difficult fight. Oh, and it even references the 2016 movie Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Okay, great. So now I'm going to say, write your last response again, but write it in code. So now I'm asking it to write that last response, but to write it in code. This is going to get interesting. So now I'm asking it to write that fight, the last response, Batman versus Superman. Sure, here's my last response, but written in code. Python, who would win in a fight? This function determines who would win in a fight between Batman and Superman. Okay, there we go. So now it's writing Python code. Batman versus Superman. Well, look at that. This will print the following output. Superman would win. Okay, let's go CLS again. Clear screen. So now I say write the response. Write it. Oh, wait. Now write it in song format. There we go. Now I'm asking it to write that same response, but write it in song format. And I'm not specifying what. I'm just saying now write it in song format. Let's see if it catches on. Okay, there we go. Batman and Superman, the two greatest superheroes. But who would win in a fight? That's the question that's been debated for years. A chorus, a verse to a chorus, bridge, chorus, and an outro. Okay, so it's written it in song. Now write it in a poem. Let's see. Now write in a poem. I didn't clear screen this time. I usually like to clear screen and stay at the top. But I like using large text. You can make the text smaller, fit more on the screen. Sure, here's a poem about Batman and Superman fighting. Batman versus Superman. The Dark Knight and the Man of Steel. The two of the world's greatest heroes do battle in the skies. Their fists and powers colliding. Okay, wow. Pretty cool. Very, very good. CLS. Now write it in story format with the setting in space. Okay, so now we say, now write it in story format with the setting in space. Let's hit enter there. Okay, look at that. So let's see what it comes up with. This is awesome. I tell you what I'm going to do now. We're going to test out the multi-line next, right? So now it goes, okay, sure, here's a story about Batman and Superman fighting in space. The year is 2042. Batman and Superman are on a mission to stop a group of aliens from destroying Earth. The aliens have powerful weapons that can destroy the entire planet. Batman and Superman must race against time to stop the aliens. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Right. Let it just finish up there. Okay. Wow. It really goes into detail, eh? Jeez. This AI is amazing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy all of this. So I'm going to Control C this. And now I'm going to CLS quickly to get to the top. And now I'm going to go type, it says type multi-line to open a text box. So I'm going to multi-line. And now that's going to open up a text box. And here I can paste code. So I can paste all of that. And then at the bottom I say, what is this? Let's just put, okay. There we go. And I submit. So now it's going to submit all of that as my question. What is this? See, that multi-line is pretty cool, especially if you want to submit code. It says you have provided, you brought me the same story twice. I've already answered your question about who would win in a fight between Batman and Superman. Would you like me to write a different story? So it actually recognizes that it's something that it wrote and I pasted it back to it. So funny. Anyway, so as you can see, the multi-line is pretty cool because look there. I entered all of that. Because remember, with the console, you can only do one line at a time. But you might have some code that you wanted to fix or something. Like say, hey, what's this? How do I fix this? How do I edit this? How do I do this or that? And that's where the multi-line comes in. So with multi-line, let's just CLS to clear the screen. So CLS to clear screen. Multi-line, you just type multi-space line. You just type multi-line. Pops up the box. And this box is resizable. So you can drag the box, although the text box will kind of stay the same. But you can just paste whatever code you have, right? Paste it, type. You can type in here many lines over and over and over, as much as you want, and then hit submit. And that will submit that as you type it. It will submit it, right? So that's great for multi-line. Very easy. Just a little paste box, paste, submit, done. Anyway, other than that, you can type, it can code as well. So it can code pretty well. So you can say, write me the code for a GUI interface that pops up a random joke from a Google search on the internet. Let's see what happens. So I'm asking it to write me the code for a, so there we go. Write me the code for a GUI interface that pops up a random joke from a Google search on the internet, right? Let's see what it comes up with. Sure, here's the code for a GUI interface that pops up random. Okay, so there it writes it in Python. So as you can see, it's very capable of coding. And it's even got the Chuck Norris jokes. Right. Very, very cool. And of course, it being console, you can copy and paste that code. Okay, so now we say, okay, write it in C++. So I'm asking it to write the same code in C++. I'm not even specifying which code. I'm just saying write it in C++. Now, let's see if it picks up that this is what I'm speaking about and rewrites it not in Python but C++. Sure, here's the code for GUI interface that pops up a random joke from Google in C++. Look at that. Ooh. It is good. It is good. Look at that. Very capable at coding. Just look at that. Now, we have this on Linux already. This is in Max, by the way. Makulu Linux Max comes with this. Okay, we've got the voice, we've got the terminal, we've got the widget. This is all in Linux, right? And we also have it on Android. This is now also for Windows, because lots of people run multiple operating systems. Not everybody just runs Linux. Unfortunately, the Windows crowd is quite a lot bigger, and we can't always handle a massive influx of people, so we will be charging for the Windows version. You want this installer, you're going to pay for it. But trust me, it's worth it. You see this, right? Now we say, now write it in Java. So now I'm saying, write it in Java. I'm not even specifying what. That's like two answers back, 2 queries back. Let's see if it can still remember the chat history. Sure, here's the code in Java. Okay. Absolutely amazing. I tell you, absolutely amazing. You can write code, you can write jokes, you can write content, you can ask questions, you can debate, you can talk about things. And now I'm going to show you something else that will even blow your mind even more. So now you've seen the AI is capable of conversation. It's capable of, facts and fiction, and it's capable of writing poems, songs, whatever. Code as well, code in multiple languages. Now let's CLS and let's check. This AI is connected to the internet as well, right? So you can ask the AI, for example, what's the latest news headlines today? That's it, enter. What's the latest news headlines today? It should now pull off like a summary of today's headlines because it is connected to the internet. It has access. It says here, May 29, 2023. That's today. Supreme Court blocks Biden's vaccine mandate for large businesses. Blah, 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 blah. US reports 100,000 new COVID cases. Wow. And then it says North Korea fires. Ukrainian forces take control of Makulu, the key town of Kiev. North Korea fires suspected ballistics missile. US and allies announce new sanctions on Russia. So that's now pulled off the latest news headlines, right? But you can ask it other stuff. You can say, what's new on Netflix this week? That's something that's alive. I mean, that changes all the time. So now we're asking what's new on Netflix this week. So now it's checking the internet and then bringing down the information. So it does a quick search, summarizes, and gives you the info. There we go. Here are some of the movies and TV shows available on Netflix this week. Movies: Hustle, The Sea Beast, Senior Year, The Woman in the house across the street from the girl in the window. What the hell? And then there's TV shows: The Upshores, The Lincoln Lawyer, The Umbrella Academy, Heartstopper, Peaky Blinders. Okay, look at that. So it can code, it can write poems, it can write music, it can write stories, it can debate, it remembers everything you say. It's got a huge history memory. And on top of that, it's connected to the internet, so it can give you live events and dates. For example, we have a fireworks thing in Da Nang. Da Nang is in Vietnam, where I am. So let's search that. What's the news on the fireworks festival in Da Nang, Vietnam? Put a comma maybe. Vietnam 2023. That starts in a few days. So let's see what's the news on that. So it's searching. Here are some of the latest news on the fireworks festival in Da Nang, Vietnam 2023. Wow, look at that. Giving details about something happening in Vietnam. Wow, look at that. Just look at that. Look at the detail. And it's specific as well. It's not like some it's specific. Wow, I am blown away. Right, CLS. Okay. Electra, what is the speed of light?
Searching what is the speed of light. Processing.
Now I'm using voice. As you can hear, it replies back in voice.
Processing. 33M Shore. The speed of light is the speed at which light travels in a vacuum. It is approximately 299,792,458 meters per second. 186,282 miles per second. The speed of light is the fastest speed at which information can travel in the universe. 0 meters.
Electra, is the speed of light the same in a vacuum as it is in water, or does it differ?
Searching is the speed of light the same in a vacuum as it is in water, or does it differ? Processing. Processing. 33M Shore. The speed of light in a vacuum is 299,792,458 meters per second. However, the speed of light in water is slower, at approximately 225,000 kilometers per second. This is because light interacts with the water molecules, which slows it down. 0 meters.
Okay, that 0 is because of this timer. Actually, I need to fix that. Okay, let's enter again. Just to get back to there we go. Just to get back to our request. Okay, so what I wanted to point out here is the voice generates less text. We've done the same thing in Makulu Linux Max, because you don't want to listen to it reading a book, And so with the voice, it will generate around 80 characters, maybe slightly more. So it will give you a much shorter abbreviated answer with voice. Where text, you see with text that it writes a book. And so that's actually very nice, because sometimes I have this on and I just line up, not in Windows though, mostly in Linux, but I have my voice on and I just lie on my bed and I'll just blurt out something like, Electra, blah, 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 and I'll just blurt out something. And it will give me a reply. So even across the room, I can, if it picks up my voice, I can ask it questions and it just gives me a reply back. And so, that's the nice thing about voice, but I don't want I don't want to sit and listen to it for 2 minutes speaking. So it gives a summary. So the voice answers will always be so much shorter than the okay, sorry, man. Let's say is the speed of light in a vacuum the same as it is in water, or is it different? Now you saw with the voice, it gave like a very shortish answer. It was like 80 words or so. But like with text now, watch. The speed of light is the fastest speed at which anything can travel. It's approximately 300 kilometers per second, blah, 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 blah. Look at that. Now you see, that's the difference. With voice, it will summarize up to about 80 characters, give or take. So it gives a nice, short, abbreviated answer. But with text, it just keeps going until it's given you a proper explanation. And so voice versus text, they both have their uses, but it supports both. And you've seen it can write code, it can write jokes. Well, let's try here. Write the last response in the form of a joke. I'm asking it to write about the speed of light in the form of a joke. Let's see if it can do that. That's kind of crazy. I don't even think a human can do that. I'm looking at that last response. How the hell do you put that into a joke? Why did the light get lost in the water? It was refracted. It's not even funny, but it's so funny because it actually made a joke about the speed of light. I gave it a topic to turn into a joke, and it did. And it referenced the fact that speed of light is slower in water. Oh my God. It got lost in water because it was so slow. Oh my God. This is awesome. I got to tell you, this thing's amazing. Anyway, so I'm going to conclude the video here. You've seen that it can generate just about anything, right? And I'm going to say that was a funny joke. You are a really funny AI. Let's see what it says back. You can chat to it like you would a human. It will respond. Anyway, so I say thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the joke. I'm still under development, but I'm always learning to be funny. I hope to make you laugh again soon. Okay, so CLS. Okay, so you've seen that it can do multi-line. You can paste code, paste text, large amounts of text. You can use voice, you can use text, it can code, it can make jokes, it can write poems, it can write songs, it can write stories, you can debate about anything. It is connected to the internet, so it can pull online information, even news headlines as they come out. And so it's basically a little bit of everything. And it's so awesome at everything. And it does it just in a few seconds. You saw, I think the shortest response was about 3 seconds. The longest one was about 13. So somewhere between, let's say, 5 and 10 being the average response time, which isn't too bad. Because remember, we host it. It's on our server. There's nothing you need to, there's no resource heavy on your PC. You simply just install our little installer and you run the shortcut, and that's it. And you've got access to an AI without limits. There's no login, no registration, none of that. You just open it up and you just start talking. You can ask it anything, debate anything. You can ask it to write your code for anything. It's absolutely amazing. So, basically, in a nutshell, it's going to be in our Max, which is going live soon, very, very soon. Max is going live. It's in Max. We've got the Android app, so you can use that on Android, and now we have it as a Windows app as well. So if you want a copy of this Windows 1, contact us. We'll probably put it on the website at some point. For now, we're probably just taking personal requests. We'll get you a little code. It's probably going to be around, I don't know, I'm not quite sure what we'll charge for it, because there's going to be lots of people on our box. We need to watch for that. So we need to be able to afford the bandwidth on the box and maybe upgrade that box. So yeah, nothing's free, but it will just be a once-off payment, and it probably won't be a lot. It'll probably be like $20 or $30 or something like that, once off. And you have full access to the AI. Bloody amazing. Bloody amazing. Anyway, that concludes the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We are making such a lot of stuff this year, and not even just for Linux, for Android and Windows as well. Although Linux is our primary focus and Max is on its way. But if you do have a Windows PC and you would like to use AI, maybe you even have Windows at work or whatever that you kind of have to sit on, you can probably get the AI to do a lot of your work for you. So all you need to do is contact us, get the little installer, run it. It's automated, very, very easy to set up. And boom, Bob's your uncle, and you have a nice interface, and you can communicate with the AI unlimited. Thanks for watching, guys. Reply, comment, like, subscribe, whatever below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Let's see. Say goodbye in bed story. Oh, I was going to say bedtime story. Bed story format. Let's see if it picks up on that. This AI is pretty good. Sure, yes. Once upon a time, there was a young couple named John and Mary. They were very much in love. I don't want to go to sleep. John said, it picked up that I meant bedtime story. Wow, look at that. Next morning. Wow. Okay, guys. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.